Imagine the weight of the world slipping off your shoulders like a heavy cloak finally cast aside. You've spent your entire life striving, grasping, desperately holding on to things you believe will bring you happiness, relationships, money, recognition. But what if the very act of caring so deeply is what's keeping you trapped? What if everything you want, peace, abundance, freedom, is on the other side of letting go? In the next few minutes, you're going to discover how the simple act of releasing your tight grip on life can open doors to a reality you never imagined. The Zen masters have taught for centuries that true freedom is found not in gaining more, but in releasing what weighs you down. Imagine a life unburdened by the constant pull of desire and the restless pursuit of things that never seem to satisfy the soul. The gentle wisdom of Zen whispers that liberation is not about filling empty spaces with more possessions, accolades, or fleeting distractions, but about clearing away the clutter that clouds the mind and weighs on the heart. Every leaf that falls to the ground, every wave that returns to the sea, reminds us that letting go is part of nature's sacred rhythm. The same is true for the human spirit. Each time we release a heavy thought, a lingering resentment, or a persistent worry, we create room for clarity, peace, and the quiet joy that arises from simply being present. Letting go does not mean giving up or walking away from what matters. It means loosening the grip on what is no longer needed, what no longer serves the journey forward. It means trusting that life, in its infinite wisdom, will carry us to where we are meant to be, even when the path is unclear. When the heart is no longer tethered to past hurts or future anxieties, it becomes light enough to dance with the present moment, to breathe deeply, to savor the softness of a breeze, the warmth of a sunrise, or the simple beauty of a single flower in bloom. In this sacred space, true freedom is not only found, it flourishes. Would you like me to continue? Welcome to Zen Companion, where the whispers of wisdom guide you to inner riches. Before we immerse ourselves in the profound wisdom that awaits, take a moment to connect with your intention for this journey. If you're here, it's because a part of you is seeking peace, clarity, and a deeper understanding. By liking this video, you're not just supporting the channel, but also affirming your commitment to nurturing your inner calm. Your simple action helps more people discover content that guides them toward a more centered and harmonious life. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe so you never miss new insights that inspire personal growth and tranquility. To anchor this intention even further, I invite you to share a powerful mantra in the comments. I release what no longer serves me. I welcome inner calm. Let these words become your declaration of letting go of worries and embracing a peaceful mindset. By sharing this mantra, you're not only solidifying your own path to serenity, but also creating a space where others can find comfort and motivation to do the same. Let's make this a community where we uplift each other through the power of words and collective intention. Lastly, think about someone in your life who could benefit from this message. Perhaps a friend who has been carrying too much on their shoulders, or a loved one seeking solace during difficult times. By sharing this video, you're extending a gentle reminder to breathe, release, and find peace amid life's challenges. Together, we can build a community rooted in mindfulness and positivity, spreading calmness one video at a time. Thank you for being part of this journey. Let's begin with the practice called the art of non-attachment. This gentle practice isn't about shutting down emotions or becoming cold and distant. Instead, it's a quiet surrender, a way of releasing the grip of control that so often binds the heart in knots. Imagine cradling a delicate feather in the palm of your hand. If you clutch it tightly, its soft edges bend and break, slipping away despite your efforts. But if you allow your hand to rest open and calm, the feather remains, free to move yet present with you. Life is like that feather, fragile, unpredictable, and infinitely precious. Non-attachment invites you to hold life lightly, to let each moment be what it is, without trying to mold it into what you think it should be. Reflect for a moment on the times when you clung desperately to an outcome, convinced that your way was the only way. Perhaps it was a relationship you tried to save, a dream you tried to force into reality, or a belief you refused to release. Yet, when you finally loosened your grip, when you stopped fighting against the current, life had a way of bringing forth what you truly needed. This is the quiet power of non-attachment. It's not about apathy or passivity. It's about softening the heart and trusting that life unfolds with wisdom beyond what the mind can perceive. By letting go of rigid expectations, you open the door for unexpected blessings to enter, often in ways you never could have imagined. Embracing non-attachment is a practice of finding beauty in the present moment, without grasping or demanding. It is a gentle reminder that you are not the orchestrator of every detail, but rather a participant in the grand dance of existence. Imagine standing by the edge of a vast, serene ocean, watching the waves come and go. You don't command the tide, you simply witness its ebb and flow, trusting in its rhythm. Non-attachment invites you to do the same with life, to let experiences rise and fall, to let people come and go, to let dreams shift and evolve, all while staying anchored in the stillness of your own being. And in that stillness, you discover a peace that cannot be shaken, a calm that gently whispers, "All is well exactly as it is." Now, let's gently turn our attention to the second technique, embrace uncertainty. There is a tender strength in releasing the urge to control every outcome, especially when the heart longs for something deeply, whether it's a relationship to flourish, a career to blossom, or a sense of security to settle in. Often, the more tightly that longing grips, the heavier the weight of stress and frustration becomes, as if carrying a burden that grows heavier with each attempt to steer life's course. But when the need to force things loosens, a beautiful openness arises. This openness invites life's subtle mysteries to unfold in their own perfect timing, often revealing gifts far beyond what the mind could have planned. In this space of surrender, there is freedom. Freedom to be present with what is, rather than caught in the anxious grasp of what might be. The wisdom of Eckhart Tolle reminds us that unhappiness rarely springs from the circumstances themselves, but rather from the stories and resistance held within the mind. Imagine standing on a path wrapped in soft mist, where the way ahead is hidden from view. Though the destination is unclear, the earth beneath offers steady support, grounding each careful step forward. Embracing uncertainty is much like this walk, moving forward with gentle trust, allowing the journey to reveal itself moment by moment without the pressure to see every turn in advance. Learning to welcome uncertainty transforms how life is experienced. It becomes less about controlling the future and more about savoring the unfolding of each present moment with grace. In this delicate dance, patience becomes a quiet companion, inviting a deep knowing that life's rhythm carries an unseen harmony. Rather than feeling lost or afraid, there is an invitation to lean softly into the unknown, to find peace not in certainty, but in the gentle unfolding of what is. This is a sacred practice of presence, where every breath becomes a bridge between what was and what will be, held tenderly in the heart's embrace. Thirdly, the journey leads us to a profound practice known as detaching from ego desires. The ego often whispers persistently, urging a constant striving for more wealth, greater recognition, or louder applause from the world. Yet, this endless chase, like a mirage, tends to deepen a sense of restlessness rather than soothe the spirit. True peace begins to blossom only when the grip on these outer measures of worth gently loosens. Imagine a life where value is no longer tied to accomplishments or the approval of others, but is found within the serene depths of your own being. This is the quiet strength of release, a sacred invitation to recognize that enoughness is not a goal to attain but a truth already present. In this space of detachment, there is a remarkable freedom, a freedom from the exhausting cycle of comparison and judgment. It is not a denial of dreams or a dismissal of effort, but a gentle awakening to the truth that self-worth is inherent, not earned. When the need to perform for validation fades, the soul can breathe more deeply, and an authentic sense of fulfillment takes root. The moments that often go unnoticed, the soft rustle of leaves, the warmth of sunlight on skin, a shared smile, begin to hold profound meaning. Here, simplicity becomes a sanctuary, and the quiet rhythms of everyday life transform into a source of lasting joy. Releasing ego desires allows a return to the core self, where peace is not dependent on external circumstances, but flows from an inner wellspring. In this place, the constant chatter of more quiets, and a stillness arises, a space where true presence and clarity can flourish. It is within this stillness that a deeper wisdom awakens, inviting a gentle acceptance of life as it is. The journey of detachment is a tender unfolding, one that reveals how richly whole life can feel when measured not by possessions or accolades, but by the simple, steady pulse of being fully present and deeply at peace with oneself. Next, we gently uncover the practice of trusting the divine timing, a subtle art of surrender that invites a deep sense of peace amidst life's unfolding mysteries. There are moments when effort feels like pushing against an unyielding current, when trying to make a relationship grow, to seal a business opportunity, or to step into a new chapter feels more exhausting than hopeful. That tension, the heavy pull of impatience, can cloud the heart with frustration and doubt. Yet, there are other moments when patience softens the spirit, when allowing life to breathe and unfold naturally brings an unexpected ease, a quiet assurance that things are exactly as they should be. This trust is not a passive waiting but a profound acceptance of a greater rhythm that weaves through every experience. It's an invitation to see life as a beautiful unfolding symphony, where every note, every rest, every crescendo happens with perfect intention. Just as the pauses between the music carry meaning and create harmony, so too do the pauses in life invite growth, reflection, and readiness for what is to come. In this sacred flow, moments of waiting become moments of preparation, and delays transform into opportunities for deeper wisdom and strength. The wisdom of Buddha gently echoes through this understanding: you only lose what you cling to. Clinging tight to timelines and expectations can close the heart, while trusting divine timing opens it wide to possibility and grace. Life's unfolding carries a wisdom far beyond immediate sight, and in releasing the need to control, a quiet confidence arises, a knowing that your unique journey is moving forward in its own perfect time. There is a soft beauty in this surrender, a tender reminder that your place in the grand symphony will come to sound with clarity and purpose, exactly when it is meant to. Now let us gently unfold the practice of surrendering expectations, a deeply transformative act of releasing the invisible chains that often bind the heart. Expectations, though unseen, can quietly shape the contours of daily life, setting silent demands on how people should behave, how achievements should arrive, and how moments should unfold. These unseen blueprints create a narrative that can feel comforting yet confining, guiding attention toward a future imagined rather than the present experienced. When life's flow diverges from these imagined scripts, it often brings a tide of disappointment, frustration, and sadness. To surrender expectations is to step beyond these limiting patterns, offering the heart a soft invitation to embrace life's mystery with openness and gentle acceptance. Picture carrying a heavy backpack, burdened with countless stones, each one inscribed with an expectation. These stones represent hopes for how loved ones should act, how success should be measured, how days should unfold just so. This weight presses down on the spirit, making each step feel labored and each moment heavy with unseen tension. But imagine, in a quiet moment, setting that backpack down by the roadside. Feel the immediate lightness that follows, the sense of freedom as your shoulders relax and your steps become easier. This lightness is not just physical, it is a deep liberation of the soul, an unburdening that opens space for life's true gifts to enter, often disguised as surprises or unexpected blessings. Surrendering expectations is not about giving up on dreams or aspirations, but about releasing the tight grip on how those dreams must appear or when they must arrive. It is a tender practice of meeting life as it is, imperfect, beautiful, and always unfolding in its own sacred timing. This surrender invites a profound trust that beneath the surface of what is seen and unseen, life is unfolding with a quiet intelligence far beyond the mind's grasp. In releasing the need to control outcomes, the heart makes room for gratitude, wonder, and peace. Here, joy takes root, not in the certainty of should be, but in the gentle embrace of what is. This is a sacred space where presence blooms, and the soul remembers its deep resilience and infinite capacity to find meaning in every moment, no matter how unexpected or different from what was hoped for. In this unfolding, life reveals itself not as a series of demands to meet, but as a precious dance, one of surrender, trust, and the quiet beauty of simply being. The sixth technique invites a profound and transformative journey, letting go of the need to please. For many, this is one of the most challenging yet liberating shifts a heart can make, especially after years or even decades of quietly bending to the expectations of others. There is a subtle but persistent call in so many lives to seek approval, to soften one's presence, to temper authentic feelings, or to mold oneself into shapes that others find comfortable. This habitual striving can become a heavy cloak, woven with threads of self-doubt and the fear of rejection, draining the spirit's natural vitality. Yet beneath this pattern lies a quiet truth waiting to be rediscovered. The more one loosens the grip on external validation, the more the soul can breathe freely and shine with unfiltered light. Imagine the moment when entering a room no longer carries the burden of wondering what others might think or say. This freedom is not born from pride or defiance, but from a deep, unwavering connection to an inner truth that grounds and centers. It is a calm assurance that your worth is inherent, untouched by others' opinions or judgments. This freedom brings with it a gentle courage, a courage to be seen fully, flaws and all, without apology. It is like stepping out of a shadow and into a warm, steady light that invites peace and authenticity to flow naturally. Here, the heart begins to rest in itself, no longer seeking permission to exist or to express its unique voice. This journey does not mean closing the door on kindness, empathy, or thoughtful connection. Rather, it invites a refined way of being, one where generosity and compassion come from genuine space, not from a place of needing to perform or conform. Picture a majestic tree, its roots sunk deep into rich, nourishing soil, its branches stretching wide and bending gracefully with the wind. Though buffeted by storms, it remains steadfast, unwavering in its essence. This tree neither forces itself to grow in unnatural directions, nor shrinks away from the sun. It simply is, in its full glory, resilient and beautifully itself. Letting go of the need to please cultivates this very strength and balance, allowing the spirit to stand firm and serene amid the changing tides of life. As this weight is lifted, a remarkable transformation unfolds, a blossoming of self-trust and an awakening to inner peace that does not depend on external affirmations. Relationships begin to shift too, as authenticity invites deeper, more honest connections where acceptance and respect flourish without pretense. The quiet, gentle power of this practice nurtures a soul's remembrance that worth is never earned through approval, but is a sacred birthright, radiant and whole from the very start. Living from this place is a profound act of self-love and courage. It brings with it a lightness that allows life to be embraced fully, with open hands and a free heart, revealing the quiet joy of simply being, perfectly and beautifully oneself. This is the sacred gift found in surrendering the need to please, a return to the home of true peace and unshakable grace. At last, the journey leads to a deeply healing and transformative truth, the power of forgiveness. Carrying the weight of grudges, resentment, or old wounds is like holding a heavy stone close to the heart, an invisible burden that quietly saps energy, joy, and peace. It is often said that holding on to bitterness is like drinking poison while hoping the other person will feel the pain. Forgiveness is the gentle, courageous act of releasing that poison, not to excuse or justify the pain caused, but to reclaim freedom for the soul. It is a tender gift offered to oneself, an opening to lighter days and softer nights. Imagine reaching inward and carefully cutting a cord that has long tied you to a hurt, a betrayal, or a painful memory. As that cord falls away, feel the gradual lifting of weight, the easing of tension, and the blossoming of lightness in its place. This is the sacred power of letting go. Forgiveness is not a single dramatic event. It is a subtle, unfolding process, a daily choice to release the hold that past pain may have on the present moment. Some days the heart may feel ready to forgive fully, while on others, the old wounds may whisper their familiar sorrow, inviting gentle patience and compassion. This practice is less about forgetting or pretending harm did not occur and more about shifting perspective, allowing the wounds to soften, to heal, and eventually to transform. Over time, what once felt like a deep, raw hurt can become a scar, visible but no longer raw, holding within it a story not of suffering alone, but of resilience and profound growth. These stories become a testament to the strength it takes to choose healing over hurt, to embrace peace over pain. Within this ongoing practice lies a beautiful, quiet alchemy. Forgiveness weaves together the threads of compassion, self-love, and understanding, creating a tapestry of transformation that touches every part of being. It invites a heart once closed in defense to open again, to vulnerability, to trust, and to a deeper sense of connection with oneself and the world. Forgiveness is the gentle river that carves away the hardest edges of grief, leaving behind smooth stones of wisdom and grace. In surrendering the past, the spirit finds room to breathe fully, to step forward with renewed hope, and to live from a place of soft strength and radiant peace. This is the profound gift of forgiveness, a liberation that renews, restores, and ultimately transforms the soul's journey. As the journey gently unfolds toward its close, there is a subtle but profound truth to hold close. Releasing the need to control or obsess does not lead to apathy or emptiness. Instead, it opens the door to a deep and vibrant freedom, a freedom to simply be, to breathe fully, and to welcome life's unfolding with open hands and an open heart. When the tight grip of worry or resistance softens, a new rhythm emerges, one that flows effortlessly and harmoniously with the natural currents of existence. It is here, in this space of surrender, that life reveals its true beauty, unfolding with grace and ease, inviting quiet joy and unexpected blessings. Imagine the relief that comes from letting go of invisible chains, those old fears, unmet expectations, and burdensome attachments that have quietly held the spirit captive. The act of release is not a moment of loss but a sacred opening, a gentle unburdening that creates room for fresh possibilities and new beginnings. In that space, life can breathe and stretch, unfolding in ways that often surprise and delight beyond what was ever imagined. It is as if the universe itself gently rearranges the pieces, aligning experiences, relationships, and opportunities in perfect harmony, all because of a simple willingness to trust and surrender. So within this quiet invitation lies a powerful question, a tender and transformative reflection. What is still held tightly within, preventing the heart from stepping fully into freedom? And what might blossom if those holds were released, if the grip was loosened, even just a little. There is a profound courage in this gentle asking, a whisper of hope that calls toward peace, flow, and the natural unfolding of life's beautiful, mysterious dance. In choosing to let go, the door opens wide to a life lived with greater ease, deeper presence, and a quiet, radiant joy that has always been waiting just beyond the need to control. Thank you deeply for taking this moment to be present and share in this journey of inner peace and gentle release. Your openness to explore these teachings is a beautiful gift, and it is through this shared experience that the light of calm and understanding grows brighter within each of us. If this message resonates with your spirit, your simple act of liking and subscribing helps nurture this community, allowing the flow of compassion and wisdom to reach even more hearts seeking stillness and clarity. In the quiet power of your comments, there is a sacred space for connection and intention. I invite you to write the mantra, "I release what no longer serves me, I welcome inner calm," as a reminder for yourself and a beacon for others. Speaking these words aloud or in writing invites a profound transformation, a gentle unfolding of peace that moves beyond the surface and touches the core of being. Your reflections and shared intentions can inspire a ripple of healing and presence far beyond what is visible. If you feel moved by this message, consider sharing it with those who may also find solace in these words: friends, family, or anyone walking a path toward deeper tranquility. In sharing, the circle of kindness widens, and the collective heart grows lighter. May this moment of connection plant seeds of calm that blossom within and radiate outward, nurturing a world that thrives on compassion and mindful release.